Hi, I'm Amit from EnviroRental, and let me take you on a very special journey to the core of sustainability in the short-term rental industry, focusing on people, those professionals that really make it work. Yes, I'm talking about the sustainability managers, and had this opportunity to interview some of the finest in the industry and gathered their insights, the key challenges that they face, their key responsibilities, how do they measure success, so on and so forth. Our role at EnviroRental is to gather such resources for you so that you feel confident about taking your next step in your sustainability journey. Without further ado, let's get started.
So I'm Senior Impact Manager at Sykes Holiday Cottages, and we're the UK's largest holiday rental agency with 25,000 properties, thousands of owners that we represent, and taking 3 million people on holiday every year. So in my role, I lead on all of our sustainability initiatives. So that's all of our environmental and social equity initiatives. I also lead on B Corp, and we became a certified B Corp in May 2023, and I'm sure I'll talk a bit more about that as we go along. I started in this role in 2021 at the beginning of Sykes' impact journey, and there's now two of us that work full-time on impact. So being a certified B Corp means that we've been recognised as a company that meets really high standards of social and environmental impact. And a large part of our role is engaging with and supporting our stakeholders, both internally and externally, to make a difference too. It's quite difficult to explain sort of a usual day. We'll be talking about some of our key commitments. So we work with lots of different partners in the charity sector, in biodiversity. As I said, engagement is a key part. So there's lots of communications that we put out all the time to our colleagues to bring them along on our journey, and also to our owners, our customers, and anyone that has contact with the business. We have 6 key top-line goals that we aim to achieve and that we measure. So one of them is around reducing our carbon emissions in line with the Paris Agreement to get to net zero as soon as possible by 2050. And we also work with 20 biodiversity projects every year. As we know, loss of biodiversity is just as important as reducing our carbon emissions. We also want to become a single-use plastic-free business by the end of 2024, and we're working with an organisation called Sustainable Cheshire and Surfers Against Sewage to do that. We have another initiative that enables 100 disadvantaged families to go on holiday every year. That's working with a charity that supports families that have a child that's been diagnosed with a life-limiting illness. We also have what I like to think is a UK leading, if not world leading, staff volunteering initiative. So all of our team can take 2 paid days every year to volunteer, and we have really great engagement with that. Last year there were 40% of staff that engaged with volunteering at least once. We also work to positively impact community and charity initiatives every year as well. So there's quite a broad remit and a lot going on. In terms of what our priorities are for sustainability in the organisation, so from those, there's lots of different actions that go into achieving all of those commitments. So in terms of the environmental commitments, with our carbon footprint, this year we're looking at doing some retrospective measurements to recalculate our baseline and look at the last few years' measurements so that we can more accurately compare where we are on our reduction goal. The figures are looking really good, but we want to make sure that we've done that due diligence around our previous measurements so that we can see where we really are in terms of that reduction metric. In line with that as well, we'll be doing a deep dive into our top suppliers So we want to get some more actual data so we can move away from relying on spend-based conversion factors, which are what most of us will be using to measure our carbon footprints. In terms of being a certified B Corp, so every year you need to recertify and complete the assessment again. So this year we'll be doing that, as we need to submit our reassessment in November 2025. So there's lots of work going on across the business so that we can continue to see that we are still doing as well as we were, and the improvements that we have made. We're also part of a collective called Travel by B Corp. So part of being a B Corp is also engaging with the community. Travel by B Corp is a group of just over 40 travel B Corps, and we work together to share learnings and look at how we can engage with the industry to bring them along on their sustainability journeys as well. In terms of probably our top priority it's all around engagement, really. So engaging with our internal audiences, all of our colleagues, around volunteering and fundraising. That's ongoing, sort of attending team meetings and sending out briefings. And this year as well, we're also developing a carbon literacy and sustainability e-learning module so that we can help our colleagues to understand the difference that they can make as well. And then external stakeholders, our two key groups really are our owners, and we're looking to roll out a sustainable holiday let certification scheme, working with Sustonica. And then it's developing the content that we have available to them. So on our blog, and there's also some new features coming on our owner app, an info hub around sustainability, so that we can just make it easier for owners to make sustainable choices. And we're doing similar with our customers as well, so enabling them to make sustainable staycation choices with blogs and content across all the comms that we share with them. So in terms of measuring all of this activity and how we're performing, it is quite a manual task, really. So we track all of the activity that we do, we record on our impact tracker, which is just a fancy way of saying our spreadsheet. But we can mark it for the different areas of impact that the activity supports, whether that's our volunteering or biodiversity. And every year also we produce our impact report. You can go on our website and take a look at that. And that outlines our key commitments, the activities that we're going to do to help us achieve them, and the progress that we've made so far. Other measures, as well as our carbon footprint measurement, which I work really closely with our finance team on, we can also get measurements on our volunteering through our HR portal that we use, because staff book their volunteering days in the same way that they would their holidays. As I said, I think 40% of colleagues completed at least one volunteering day last financial year, and that's growing incrementally each year. The average for a corporate volunteering programme is about 10%, so I think that our team are doing really well to do their bit in terms of that. And then we also work with the different partners that we work with, both in terms of charity and biodiversity and nature. They provide us with impact reports as well, so that we can measure the number of species that we might have helped to protect, or the number of individuals that we have helped to support through various different initiatives. The key challenges are sort of, where do you start? And my advice would be for anyone is the B Corp B Impact Assessment is a really good framework to help you with that. Whether or not you want to become a certified B Corp, the Impact Assessment Framework is just really good at putting every area of your business under the microscope, so that you can see what you're doing well and identify the areas that you want to improve, and then you can get yourself an action plan from that to see what's most important to your business, and like you'd approach any kind of project, put them down in their priorities. But I would say that's a really good starting point. The other challenge really that I've seen, particularly in other businesses, is having that dedicated resource. So I would say appoint a lead on impact in your business. For us as Sykes, we're a large business. We have around about 1,000 employees. We've got 40 offices across the UK, as well as an office in New Zealand. So I think without myself and my impact executive sort of being dedicated to this, we wouldn't have made the progress that we had done in the last 2 years. So I would say, yeah, that challenge around resource and identifying the areas that you want to tackle first, they are the ways that I would approach that.